You know, this channel is becoming to be good therapy for me. Simply because I can come in here and kind of rant. And for some reason, you guys keep watching. I mean, I appreciate it. Trust me, I do. But I gotta do a rant about a conversation I just had. I'm not going to call the person out because when they watch the video, they're going to know exactly who they are. But it's funny to me that we all need and want help. But when you are given help without having to pay the price for it, and it never ceases to amaze me how when we don't pay for the things that, okay, it goes back to the saying of people will buy what they want and beg for what they need. People buy what they want and beg for what they need. It's so frustrating when you're trying to help people and you know the answer, you know what's going to help them and bless them, but they don't use the tools that they've been given or even that they've paid for sometimes. So case in point, and this video is going to be about credit. And even though, you know, I'm a plant-based homestead prepper, I still live in the city. And you still need, I don't care what you're doing, even if you live out in the freaking jungle, every now and then you're going to want to come back to civilization and buy something. And if you don't have the money to pay for it, you're going to charge it. So, when buying and purchasing huge items, big items, and when you're going to purchase things, why not do it smart, okay? Why not do it where you get the points back, you get the cash back, you get the perks of being the platinum black card members and all that kind of stuff? Why not? If you're going to make purchases like that. Now, my wife and I, we're going to be totally debt free by the end of this year. That is one of our goals. We are swiftly approaching that, just so you guys know. But I also help and teach people to, I'm not going to say I help them clean up their credit. I point them in the right direction of getting their credit right, okay? Because that's not a business that I'm passionate about. That's not a business that I even want to be in, because if you have bad credit, then you're either limited on money or you're terrible with your money. And to me, it's a bad business model, because why would I want to set up a business around people that are already bad with finances? That makes any sense to me. But some people do it. So what I do for people that I mentor and coach, and I find out that they have a need of repairing credit, I point them in the right directions of tools and resources that I have used to clean up mine. Now, brief story. About a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, I started on this credit repair journey. I did it all myself. When I first started, I had a 530 credit score. Right now, it's approaching 800. Just so you guys can, you know, just for the people that are watching this that have lower credit scores that are laughable, just to give you some motivation, I am like that close to an 800 credit score, which anything above 750 is excellent. So, you know, you start getting 800 and above, you're like the king of credit. And it took me a lot of research. It took me reading some books and applying a lot of the information and knowledge that I learned. Applying, because learning it is one thing, doing it is something different. So anyway, I was on the phone with somebody a while ago, and they were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna pay off my medical collections. I'm like, you haven't read the book, have you? And for those of you that are interested in reading the book I'm talking about, it is called The Conspiracy of Credit by Corey P. Smith. I recommend that book, The Conspiracy of Credit, Corey P. Smith. Excellent book, excellent writer, has an awesome story, and that book alone with his channel, took me from basically a 530 credit score, and within 6-8 months, I was over 700. I mean, that was way over 700. It might have been within 6 months. I just know it happened really quick for me once I started, implementing the strategies that I learned from what he's teaching and what he teaches in that book. And then anytime I get involved with something, I get inundated with it. So I kind of stalk people on YouTube, and I watched every one of his videos, every single one of them. I don't know how many it was, but I watched them all. But I said all that to say this: if you want to keep information from the masses, and it's so sad, if you want to keep information from the masses, you know where you put it? You put it in a book. Because most people are not going to read. Especially nowadays in time. We have too many other things that we can do. Like watch the Idiot Box or watch the Tell Live Vision. We're too busy doing that. We're too busy watching Scandal and Lost. And now I have got into this new series that, well, it's not new. It's new to me. Dominion. Oh, man. I got into that series, and I'm binge watching that. And I watched like 4 episodes last night. Couldn't believe how caught up I got into this series. But I don't really watch TV, and I just happened to be flipping through the what's that thing called, the Fire Stick one night, and I saw it. And from episode 1, I've been hooked. So, but it's so interesting to me because it's about these. Okay, so the backstory is God has left humanity, the earth, and everything for the last 25 years. The angels, Gabriel has taken some of the angels. He's on one side, and Michael has stood with the humans because Gabriel, faulted mankind for God leaving everybody. So he's on the journey to wipe out all of mankind. And as I'm watching it, I'm watching all of the clues that they're leaving behind. Of course, a lot of it's biblical. Some of it you gotta my spidey senses. When I talk about my spidey senses, I'm talking about my third eye is seeing things. I'm like, oh, my spidey senses are tingling about that. It's a lot of prepping involved in that show. Even though it's not individual prepping, it's more like city prepping, and it's just interesting to watch because I can see we as humans setting up some kind of system like that if something ever happens, and it goes back to homesteading and prepping because imagine that. Imagine if God just stopped listening to us. And he just left. He just like, okay, I'm turning my back on y'all. Boom, that's it. Would that be amazing? It'd be amazingly in a bad way. But anyway, I digress. So, I've been on that series like crazy. I'm trying to get through season 1 and get to season 2. And it's only 2 seasons, so hopefully it won't get to a point where it cuts off like this other show I was watching called, it's not Colony, Jericho. Told y'all about Jericho, and it's one of those end of days type shows too, where somebody set off like several nuclear blasts in America, and the city of Jericho are one of the ones that survives, and it just takes you through this city's journey after nuclear Armageddon, basically. So I like shows like that put me in the mindset more of what would I do. What would the community do if this were to happen? And it's always about, prepping. That's basically what it is. So I said all that to say this. Stop watching so much TV. And even though I just talked about several TV shows, throughout the daytime when I'm driving, because I get a lot of drive time, throughout the daytime I am inundating my mind with information. As you guys can tell by the way I speak to you about different subjects, but they all fall up under the same subject: plant-based homestead prepping, plant-based homestead prepping, plant-based homestead prepping. What I was doing this morning when I was talking to you guys on my first video, I was making a plant-based juice, okay, for lunch. You know what? I actually went and tried something I hadn't had in 8 months. I had some fast food earlier, and I tried the Burger King's, what do they call it? Infinity Burger, some crazy name. The veggie burger, the veggie Whopper. I tried that earlier. It was actually kind of good. I hate to admit it was good. It reminded me of when I used to eat Whoppers. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I can see how people can get hooked on it. But that'll probably be my first and last one, because I don't do fast food anymore. And I felt it immediately. And I actually had some fries with it. So I ate the fries, I ate the burger, and I was like, yeah, I can feel this. This is, and it wasn't feeling it in a good way. It was feeling it in a not so good way. And I can always tell when I eat something that I shouldn't be eating, because my voice starts to get raspy from the sodium and from all the chemicals. And we'll talk about the five things that have caused mankind to fall. We'll talk about that another time, especially when I start getting more into the plant-based videos. We're gonna be doing videos for years, y'all. I got plenty of information, and I can take that one subject, water, and I can probably do 150 videos just on water. I mean, I got plenty of information, y'all. And when I feel like I don't have information that I can just spout out and give to you, I'll go research and give y'all some information. But back to credit, and I know I've talked about a bunch of subjects. If you're a person and your credit is toe up from the floor up, if you are a person that is trying to get to the next level as far as credit, if you're trying to build business credit, I recommend strongly that book, The Conspiracy of Credit, Corey P. Smith. It is thebomb.com. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be the best. I think it's like $17, $18 book. It's going to be the best 17, 18 bucks you ever spend in your life. Promise you that, hands down. So it's possible you can come back from, and this is coming from somebody who had excellent credit, went through a divorce, and has excellent credit again. Now, it took me a little while, because I didn't know then what I know now. It took me about a decade of living with bad credit, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. So I am a living witness, walking around, person that had high 700s as far as credit scores at one time, gone down. I've seen my credit score down to I think I saw the lowest was a 480. And when I started working on it, it was at a 530. Here it is, less than 2 years later. And within the first year, I was well above 700. As a matter of fact, I went to like 750 and then dropped down into the 600, mid 600s, 650, 660, somewhere in there. And now I've bounced my way back up to close to 800. So you can do it. That's the whole point of the matter. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. You really, I mean, that statement is so true. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. It starts up here. Remember how we were talking the other day? It all starts about building. Things are built 3 different ways. 1 is built in your mind. 2 is built on paper. That's a blueprint. And then 3 is actually built. So you can do anything. I promise you. You just got to set your mind to it, okay? Thank y'all for being here. If you have been blessed, helped, or you thought this video was funny in parts, I got plenty of them. Consider subscribing. I need all the subscribers I can get. If you liked it enough that you could share it, y'all please share some of my videos and help me grow. I really, truly appreciate you guys for being here. I love you enough to tell you the truth, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Take care.